Hey 8th graders, it is week 6 of online learning together. This week we're going to be focusing on two things. The first thing, we'll be going through our Outsiders novel study, chapters 4 through 6 this week. The second thing, we will be working on your autobiographies. We're going to get those completely drafted, and we're going to go through the editing process, and then we're going to get those turned in. Thursday and Friday this week would have been the start of Tulip Time, and I am bummed, like many of you are too, that Tulip Time has been canceled this year. However, we are going to do a Tulip Time bingo challenge to create a sense of Dutch pride and excitement about Tulip Time, because I know that a lot of people are going to miss it this year. And you'll learn more about that through the Learning Hub this week. So just to go along with that, I will not be having office hours on Thursday. I will not be posting any new work opportunities after Wednesday. However, your Outsiders and autobiography work is still due Friday, but you can turn it in Wednesday and then have a complete break from my class Thursday and Friday if that's what you choose to do. So let's go ahead and take a look at what our week will look like in more detail. Okay, here we are. So week 6. There's a little welcome letter here for you. And then our learning targets for this week. I mentioned earlier that we're going to be working through chapters 4 through 6 of The Outsiders together. And to go along with that, there will be a study guide. If you would like to join me and some other students and read The Outsiders together and work through the questions together, you are more than welcome to join our ELA Google Hangout from 10:45 to 11:45. On Monday, we'll go through chapter 4. On Tuesday, we'll go through chapter 5. And on Wednesday, we'll go through chapter 6 together. To go along with the Outsiders, our vocabulary building will be connected with that. There is a new list of vocabulary words for you. And I will go ahead and show you what that looks like in Google Classroom here. So you'll see there's a post for The Outsiders, chapter 4 through 6. The first document will be your study guide, which will look like this. For the study guide this week, the first group of questions are going to be some reflection questions about social groups. So if you've started the novel with us, you know that there are the greasers and there are the socias, our two social groups. And there are some questions here, essential questions that I want you to read and connect those to our big idea. And then look through the text, and I want you to pick at least 3 quotes that have a significant meaning to you. And you may choose whatever you would like through chapters 4 through 6, or if you want to go back to chapters 1 and 3, you can do that as well. And then after you've picked a quote that has meaning for you, then I want you to analyze it. What is the significance of that quote in relation to the big idea or one of these essential questions above? Then scrolling down, you're going to see that there are chapter questions for each chapter. So you'll see some for 4, you'll see some for 5, and then you'll see some for 6. And that will be our study guide for this week. You'll also see in Google Classroom that there is the vocabulary. That document looks like this. So we have our vocabulary notebook, and there are maybe 10 words here, I think. And what you'll be doing is you'll be looking for that definition. You can copy and paste that off of Google if you would like, or if you already know the definition, write down what you know, and then I would like you to create your own sentence. And then as you're reading, watch out for these words. And let's go back to, here it is, Google Classroom here. You have the PDF copy of the text so that you can read along. Or if you would rather listen to the story, we have chapters 4, 5, and 6 as read-alouds here. Or join us in our Google Hangout and you can read along with us. So that will be The Outsiders. We have our wholesome writing opportunity. Autobiographies are due this Friday, and I'm really excited to read those. You guys have been working super duper hard on that. To go along with our slideshow, if you're still working on that drafting and organizational piece, those will be slides 10 through 18. And our goal is to reach 2,000 words. If you want to go over that goal, you may write as much as your little heart desires to share your life. That's totally fine. And then editing will be our big target this week, because I really want you to make sure that you proofread these before you just turn them in. To help you go through the proofreading process, you'll have slides 19 and 20, and there's an editing checkpoint to go along with that. So you'll see this post in Google Classroom, and let's see here. I'll show you slides 19 and 20. You'll see that we are on step 4, the editing process, or if we're following the 6 traits of writing, this is where you're going to be working on your fluency, your word choice, and your conventions. As you're editing your paper, again, careful editing is so vital. Make sure that you're using spell check. You can use Grammarly. Use the skills that we have been practicing in DL Well all year. And then this editing checkpoint will be shared with you in Google Classroom, and I'll walk you through that. And the last piece of advice is read your story out loud, because a lot of times you'll catch mistakes reading out loud versus reading in your head. So if we look here at the editing checklist, so here's that editing checklist, checkpoint number 3. You'll see there are different categories. So I'm going to have you walk through punctuation. Take a look at these different items on the list. Make sure that you have followed these rules in your own writing. You'll go through capitalization, grammar, spelling, vocabulary. Also, you'll notice in here include at least 5 membing words. That isn't something that we have really talked about yet. So if you see this part of the checklist, I would really encourage you to throw those membing words in there. Your format, this is what I'm looking for, and then the contents, these are all the things that should be included. Also, this format and contents information is also within the autobiography guidelines, which is also shared with you on Google Classroom for this week, just so that you can reread that to make sure that you're hitting all the big points. And then some final notes to go over before you hit turn in. But on this checkpoint, I'm going to be looking here to kind of get a sense of what you did for this checkpoint. So just put an X in the categories that you completed, and then I would like to know your final word count, and then just a final overall reflection of the autobiography process. I know this looked a lot different this year because we are online versus in the classroom, but just tell me overall, how did it go? What was challenging for you? What went really well? And then how can I make adjustments to this writing process for future students? Any and all feedback is welcome. And lastly, for grammar, your grammar is going to be tied to your autobiography that's going through the editing checklist. So that will be your grammar for this week. If you would like to see our week in a little bit of a condensed version, here are the key things you can be working on, as well as here is an outline for the week. However you want to follow this outline, it's totally up to you. This is just a guide if you'd like to use it. And you'll notice that we have the Tulip Time bingos here Thursday and Friday, but still make sure that you turn in your things by Friday. If you want to turn them in earlier, that is totally fine with me. Okay, so to wrap up here, we have one more, it kind of looks like two, one more month of school left online, and I really want you to make this last month count. You guys have been working really, really hard, and I'm so proud of you. So keep it up. We got this.